Julian, welcome to Drinks with Chris. How's it going?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time, hasn't it?
Almost, what? That was no, almost 20 years, plus 20 years.
Jesus Christ. It's mad. But yeah, just to give people a bit of context, we went to high school together, secondary school, and we've been friends on Facebook or whatever, and just I've been following everything you've been doing, but we haven't really seen each other since then, have we? So it's good to see you.
But that's the thing nowadays, like, because of social media now, you can kind of keep up with people, and you see people doing okay, so like, yeah, great. But in terms of actually seeing people, yeah, a decade could go by easily. Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah, you kind of just stay connected, don't you? But not, it's like connected but disconnected, because you don't see them in person, but you just kind of just spy on their life a little bit.
yeah. Kind of like, not in a CD way, but you can spy people.
Yeah, so no, I mean we used to sit next to each other. I used to sit next to you in Spanish, I think, and I think maths.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, I say we used to sit next to each other, but I think in maths, we used to sit next to each other until the teacher started to kind of sit. I remember the one day, I remember seeing you sit he sat you at the front because I don't know what was going on. You were talking or whatever. So some things probably don't change, but sat you at the front, and then it was my turn then. I don't know what happened then. He moved you somewhere else, sat me at the front, and I think that was the day he had a bit of a nervous breakdown, I think.
Oh, you remember that, right? Say that. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, because something happened, and I remember he proper spazzed out, like, he went nuts. And we were all like, what is going on here? But it's interesting because I've done teaching and stuff since.
Right.
And I can definitely appreciate that we probably sent a few teachers to a mental asylum. I get it now.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Yeah, it's like I always think now you don't. We went to Dartmouth High. It doesn't exist anymore as Dartmouth, I don't think. But
you're free, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so but you did. I always think now you didn't graduate from Dartmouth. You survived it. It was one of those sorts of schools, wasn't it?
Definitely. If you came out of Dartmouth, you did well.
Yeah,
you did well.
Yeah. And then we played for the school football team. Probably, I'd say it was the best football team that the school had, I think.
Oh yes, mate.
Yeah, we won it.
Our defensive.
Definitely. I mean, we kind of won everything. I think we only remember us losing maybe 2 games in across all the years that we were at high school, I think. Yeah, so no, it was good, man. It was good. So for the people who are watching, the viewers, what have you since high school? Can you just sum up briefly? What have you been up to? Where have you been? What have you achieved? What have you done? Just kind of a brief summary of what you've done.
Yeah, man. So from school days, my main thing was always music. So that's from kind of left school was the only thing I was really passionate about. I wanted to do. And I had people around me who were already in the industry. So my whole headspace is geared towards that. So from there, I've done a few jobs prior, left school, did college, blah, 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 blah. But I say because of the music, I never really thought about uni or doing a degree, because in my mind, if you do a degree in a subject, it's for that thing. So if I do a degree in music, it's for music. If I do a degree in science, it's for science. So I was like, I don't need a degree for music. I'm going to be all right. So I never finished it. So I did I think it was BTEC or whatever diploma and and I never finished the degree. I went to work. Kind of regret that now.
Really? Why do you regret it now? You mean for academically? You mean? Yeah.
Yes, it opens doors, I think, because a degree is transferable in terms of it just shows. Well, what I try to tell people now, because I've done teaching, I've done mentoring and so forth. What I try to tell people now is that it kind of shows application to learning.
Sure.
It's not so much you've got a degree in that aspect and you can only use it in that aspect, but it just shows people or employer and so forth your application to learning and to furthering yourself. So although I've done teaching, when I wanted to upgrade in that skill set, I needed a degree to continue the process.
Sure.
I was like, damn, I've got it. And I was like, the thought to go back and get a degree now and then continue now, I'm like, that's a lot. I might still do it. It's not over, but it's just things, if I'd done it in sequence, it would be easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it goes. But I say, all that said and done, I've been doing music. It's been fine. So for the past, I've gone in and out of full-time music for probably 15 years now. But particularly for the last 8 years, I've just solely done music full-time. Playing different artists, playing different venues, as small as pubs and clubs, and as big as arenas, stadiums, traveling the world kind of thing. And it's been really cool for me, man. So I've really enjoyed it. It's great to be able to tick that box for me, because that was my kind of thing. Do something I enjoy, music, get paid for it, and travel.
Sure, yeah.
And it's been ticking those boxes really. So very grateful to do that. So
yeah, I mean, it's good to see somebody following their passion and then making something out of it. It makes a big difference, doesn't it? To kind of enjoy what you're doing and build a life around that. It makes a massive difference.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Where are you living? I was just going to say, where are you living now? Are you down in the big smoke now? I'm glad you're having a bit of a beer. I'm actually on iced water today. It's too hot for me, man.
No, I thought about it, and it's like you said drink with Chris, so it's not going to get involved.
It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. If there's ever an excuse to have a beer, it's midday on a Friday, isn't it?
There you go. I like it. It's cool. Yeah, man. Down in London. I'm not going to diss London, because London is great, I guess. It's interesting because I think it's still hot, in my heart. Midlands is still home.
Yeah.
It's just a different pace of life.
Yeah.
I think. For anyone in, I used to call London like a rat race kind of thing. I thought it's too fast. It's always moving constantly. But what I will appreciate now is that it's not aggressive. It is aggressive, but it's because there's so much opportunity down there. People just want to go and get it. So because of the numbers and so forth, if you're not dedicated or not perseverant and whatever, you won't get anywhere, because there's 10, 20 people, 100 people behind you that want that same spot. Yep. So I appreciate it now in terms of being a fast pace, because everyone is just kind of motivated to try and do better.
Yeah, sure.
Doesn't mean I like it. I still the pace of it is a lot better, a lot calmer. And a lot of people who are kind of setting themselves up now will more so move a bit further afield, whether it's a bit outskirts of London or what's not, because it's just a bit easier living. I think getting a quality of life balance is what you want to try and aspire to, and getting a balance, whatever balance is. You know what I mean? If you, my place.
Yeah. Well, with this lockdown now, it's kind of everybody's had a chance to just chill out and start to think about what they're doing with their life, I guess. Yes, no.
Especially this time, right?
Yeah. It's strange. And have you had to fight yourself, like being down there, you're saying, in the rat race for music-wise? Have you had to kind of fight for that, or have you been a bit more relaxed about it and kind of just figured it out as you've gone along, or?
I've been very blessed that I've kind of found some opportunities that have opened doors for me. So I haven't pursued any particular contract so far. I haven't had to. Been very fortunate with that. So I've kind of got a balance of, like I say before, you can do either like touring stuff with artists, or you can do general like pubs and clubs and so forth. Yeah. I found a nicer company I work with, and they're called ALR Music. So I do a lot of stuff with them, and they have a lot of residencies in some quite high establishments in London. Sure. So I was happy to do that, because although I'm not traveling around the world, I'm still doing what I enjoy, still doing it with a high clientele, and get to go home at night, which is great. Yeah, man. Because I've got family now, so I can't be on the road like I used to be, or touring for like 6, however months at a time. My kids kind of need me, so to be able to still do music enjoyably and spend time at home was a huge thing for me. So getting that balance has been great for me, and I've been very blessed to be able to find that down here without having to do the rat race thing, so to speak. Because performing arts, media, anything you do, whether it's drama, whether it's film, it's all the same scenario, isn't it? I guess everyone's fighting for the same thing. Football. My son's into football a lot right now. As you all know, to get into football is crazy because everyone wants to get into it. Same kind of scenario. So, but yeah, I've been very, very fortunate that it's worked out well for me so far.
Good, man. No, I'm really happy for you, man. It's you do look like you're kind of the family man and enjoying it all, and you've got you've got it all figured out at the moment. What would you say is kind of in your career so far? What's your kind of your biggest achievement? What was the biggest thing for you? What was the biggest moment, kind of thing?
I don't know. Biggest moment.
Kind of biggest achievement, the biggest thing where you thought to yourself, like, this is I've kind of passed a line here, and I'm now really doing something that I want to do and kind of getting ahead in what I want to do.
Probably my first tour in terms of that aspect, because I worked with a UK artist called Lemar back in 2007, 6, 7. I think I've done a few things before that.
Yeah.
On a big stage, but I think it was the first time I went on actual tour. That's a lie, actually. That's a lie. First one on tour was in France with an artist called Billy Crawford, and that was in France. But it's a bit different. I don't know because in France it was different. But being on a UK stage with a UK artist who was quite well known at the time, it wasn't like I made it, but I made it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I still have things to do, but it's like, wow, I'm here. I'm doing what I enjoy. This is great. Could be life for me, kind of thing. So that was really cool. Yeah. And I've had a lot of moments since then with great scenarios. One I usually go to is I was working with Beverley Knight. I was supporting Carlos Santana.
Right.
Like,
Jesus.
He's like, yeah, he's humongous. You know what I mean?
Huge. Yeah.
And what was so about his band? Everyone in his band were icons in their own right.
Yeah.
But they were all super cool. Like we've seen stars now who, like, they've been on TV for a second and they got big egos and they're big headed.
Yeah.
His whole band was so cool. It's like, wow, you could, for whatever reason, within your own rights, have the biggest ego. You could be a nightmare to work with or to be around. But he would come on stage and come to you and say hello. Like, you're Carlos Santana. What are you talking about? What's going on?
Yeah.
Always see it as a high. It was just nice to see that you can still be such a big icon and still have a real humility about you, still be a nice person, and that kind of spoke volumes for me in terms of how to conduct yourself and how to be within that kind of industry. So, but that's one of the big highlights for me as well, for sure.
I guess that's a lesson in longevity, isn't it? In like having a long career, actually, is to be humble, surround yourself with the right people, because, like you say, the people who've got the big egos don't always last. They'll last just for a short period and then they're out because people don't want to be around them. Yeah.
You could be the greatest person in the world in terms of talent-wise, have the greatest talent. People don't want to be around you. Sack it off. Yeah. And that's true in what I do as well. Like, I think I'm not professed to be the greatest player at all, but I think sometimes in terms of being, say, humility, timekeeping, being punctual, learning my craft to the best of my ability and so forth, and just being a pleasant person. All those things sometimes add more to your character and how you are as a person, more so than the skill talent sometimes. If you're on stage, for me, if I'm on stage for an hour and a half, the rest of the day, I'm around you, but I'm off stage, I'm around these people. They've got to be able to tolerate me. I can't be an idiot. They don't want to be around you. So, yeah, you're great for an hour and a half on stage, but for the rest of the time, when we're traveling together or in a hotel or something, and you're an idiot, I don't want to be around you, so I'd rather not. So, yeah, definitely a testament to people who have their character and longevity and how they carry themselves. It's a big thing. Yeah. And I think that's probably transcends through life anyway, I guess.
Yeah. Have you been around any people like that? Any people that you've kind of worked with and been around and you just think, God, man, I can't wait to get to the... You don't need to name them. I'm just saying, like, I can't wait to get to the end of this.
There's been a couple, man. I mean, I've tried to... There's one particular thing, a few couple artists that I had, and my mindset was, if I wanted to do a 9-to-5 job, with nothing against it at all, But you know, sometimes we have certain jobs where we're in an office place or so forth, and you got a manager over your neck and blah 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 blah. If I want to be in that field, cool, I'll do that. I'll make myself for that, fine. But to be in an area like music, or be in an area that I enjoy, and leave my house upset because I don't want to be in that environment, I don't want to do that. So there's a couple of things I took myself out of for that purpose. Like I say, having a stable job is not a thing. And if I need to go do that, I'll still go and do that, which is fine. But I'll choose to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make my place of enjoyment that kind of setting.
Yeah.
Rather than not. Music's cool. I want to enjoy music still. I don't want it to become just work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've had a few of those, and I'll try and stay clear of those as possible.
Yeah.
What's just a last bit on that bit is Beverley Knight. What's she like? Because like I'm a fan. I like Beverley Knight, and she seems like she's like just a bundle of energy and kind of just off the chain with that. Is she a good person to be around?
Well, again, I've been really, really fortunate, really blessed that I've worked with some great artists and great characters as well. Beverley, Midlands, yeah. Really, really cool. I think I respect the fact that she's great at what she does. She, not like, without disrespecting anybody, some people only know their bubble. She knows music in its entirety. She will understand what it's about, what it takes to graft and work hard and so forth. And then that tells in her performance, it tells in her character. And I have a lot of admiration for that. So she was definitely a great person to work for, and I definitely appreciate that. Good fun, good times.
Yeah, cool. So what have you got any other inspirations? Any other like artists? I guess musically, I don't know whether like in drumming or just musically in general. Like, who are the people that have inspired you and kind of you've looked at and thought this is how I want to be, really?
Right. I think it's weird because growing up, I always had just like homegrown talent that I always looked at really more so. There was always obviously international superstars as well, but maybe because people around me were more tangible, I could actually see them and speak to them. They had more of an influence on me than the stars. It's times have changed now. Like now, you can talk to people on the internet via Skype, or on Instagram and so forth, and you can access your stars quite easily now. But 10, 15, 20 years ago, that wasn't available. So a lot of my homegrown talent were my biggest influences. I was being raised in the gospel background in church and so forth. That all those things still resonated with me, and that gave me a very good grounding as to how I did things. Not in school, but it gave me a good grounding as to how I did things. And a lot of those people were my main influences. So my family were huge. My outer family were huge. Church family were really massive. And even now, I guess there are a few influences from people who I can access now via social media and so forth. And concerts I've been to, meeting like, let's see, I have to say Carlos Santana's band, Jill Scott's band, Beyonce's band, some of the members and stuff like that. Yeah, even that. I'm saying that, I'm like, wow, I've done that. That's crazy. To cross paths and stuff.
Yeah.
And it might only be for a minute. It might not be like an old, long-standing best friend situation, but just crossing those paths with other people, seeing what they've done, and maybe get to ask them a question. How was this for you? How did you do that? How should I approach this? And again, being quite fortunate that some of these people are really approachable and really nice to talk to. They could have been whatever, they could have been quite introvert or dismissive, but I've got to meet some cool people and grateful for that.
I think that's an interesting way to look at kind of who inspires you. It's really nice to hear you say that having inspiration from the people around you, I guess, is a lot more valuable than kind of aspiring to people that you just see on the TV or you've just heard about. Or inspiration from the people around you is so much more important, I think.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. I think if we all look around us sometimes, when we're growing up, we don't see sometimes the people around us, whether for whatever reason, we don't understand it. It's not till we look back and we're like, oh, okay, that's why you did that, or that's why you said this, and so forth, so forth.
Yeah.
It's kind of, we get matured up, we grow up and what's that, and we can really see the influence, sometimes good or bad, that people had in our life and what's that. And I think that's quite important. And while we can, because some of us don't have the opportunity, letting people know as well that, you know what, whatever you said then or whatever you did, kind of thing, thank you for that. That's quite cool. And yeah, some people would love the opportunity to thank or say hello again to some people who influences their life, and they can't for whatever reason. But yeah, man, I think definitely respecting those in your circle and those who had an influence, and they were there for you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were there at the time, and it's very good to give their honor to those people. So
yeah, definitely. Celebrities aren't like, they've never, when people say, oh, so this person inspired me, or this celebrity, they're not around. They're not there to talk to you or to give you a bit of advice or whatever. So it's a bit of like a false idol almost, isn't it? I guess so.
In a sense, yeah. I hear you. And they'll play their part. I mean, I just finished watching the Michael Jordan thing on Netflix.
Yeah.
And that was crazy to watch, like seeing his work ethic, what he put himself through. And it's funny as well because you also saw he was a idiot at times. He was an arse at times, you know what I mean, to some people. But got the desired results out of him as well. So obviously he was able to hone in that craft and that what would seem negative and make it into positive. Cool. But yeah, to see his journey, I won't get to talk to MJ. Well, maybe one day maybe I'll get to talk to MJ, but and say thank you. But just seeing how he does things is amazing from this standpoint. But I could probably also see about 10 to 15 people around me who likewise gave the same kind of influence. Might not be in the same magnitude. You're not got your name in lights, but your perseverance daily, you going to work daily, or you just kind of showing us how to go about life in a systematic approach or what's not. Or just being a good person.
Yeah.
I mean, being a good person. In this day and age, just being a good person is a thing.
Yeah. You've got to be around good people, and you've got to kind of attempt to try and be a good person, because it's really easy just to get bitter, isn't it? Kind of get bitter and feel kind of, I don't know, just let things get you down. And no, it's important to keep, like you've said, just keep grounding yourself and keep remembering kind of the good people around you and what you're trying to achieve, I guess. What with your craft, I wanted to know, have you got a drum kit at home? Do you kind of beat the drums at home, or is it a bit difficult?
It's a bit difficult. I've got a practice pad kit that I can use, and my son kind of enjoys it, so I use him as a, like say, my son. The kid likes it, so I let him do it. You know what I mean? If it was for me, I wouldn't get it at all. But I've got enough things and tools around me that I can kind of use, and I've got studio spaces I can go to when I need to go and thrash out a bit. So that's cool. But yeah, I've got not adventure. What's the word I'm talking about? I've got access. Thank you, access.
Yeah.
Access to those kind of things when need be.
Have you got neighbours?
Huh?
Have you got neighbours around you?
A lot.
That's the thing, isn't it? You can't really just kind of be at home and hitting your drums and.
I think that's when I was younger and I was at home with mum and that, and I was playing drums like daily after school. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they put up with it. I don't know how my neighbours put up with it. I remember going to one of the neighbouring roads behind our street and seeing some friends, and they're like, "Is that you playing drums?" I was like, "You're on the next street. How could you hear me?" And everybody put up with it. She said, "You know what? To everyone in that area that listens to me play drums daily, thank you very much, because I wouldn't be here."
If they would have stopped you playing, you wouldn't have been where you are now.
Definitely. I could be shut down by the council of earth. You know what I mean? That's why I'm here today for it. So yeah, it's been cool.
Do you have to work out, go to the gym and stuff for the drumming, or is the drumming enough kind of to keep you in shape? And
I think it helps. I think you can be. I mean, there's some individuals who are very big and they're still getting around the drinking fine, and they're still. I say actually, everyone who was big that I know are particularly big, they're all losing weight now. So I think they're seeing in their craft, whether it's traveling around, not just playing an instrument, but being able to travel, being able to get upstairs. Sometimes it's funny when you're in a certain situation, you realize what you're going to do to get to work. You then see, extra baggage or whatever it could be. It's a negative effect on you. So I prefer to try. We're getting on now, Chris. I prefer to try and stay fairly fit in the
Yeah.
Because try to relive the glory days.
Because you don't know when any of these youngsters are going to start coming up and trying to take your place. That's what it is.
They're on the hills. They're here, man. I mean, my son could jump my son's over already.
Yeah. Is he getting the hang of it now? Is he kind of actually getting into it properly? And
it's just something he can do. I think it was weird because I don't think I ever showed him anything particularly. And then one day the kid was just there and he just started playing. I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. So I kind of left it there, and every now and then I show him a little thing, and he'll just instantly kind of get it. It's kind of nice. I haven't pushed it his way or anything. I just kind of left him with it, and a few fun exercises here and there. But it's nice to see that music's kind of in him, and working on with that. Cool. But I guess for now, it's extracurricular. It's something else he can do alongside everything else. Just more strings to your bow, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think it's genetic? Because I've noticed this with my little girl as well. You see things in your children that you enjoyed or a talent that you had, and you just see it just come out of them, and you don't know where it's come from. Do you think it's genetic? Do you think that you pass that on, or do you think there's something that we don't see? I don't know.
I don't know. Is it genetic, or is it that they were always watching you?
Maybe.
And you didn't realize. I don't know. I don't know because say my dad plays guitar,
right?
And I was always around music, and my family are quite musical. So but they'll tell me that I was playing drums before I was probably walking. I was like, really? Right. I didn't know that. It's probably a really interesting study, to be honest. With the mixture between genetic or just them soaking in everything. Yeah. And when knowing that they're actually paying attention.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we pass on our interest, like if when we have children, somehow our own interests are kind of passed on to the next generation. Do you know what I mean? So like you say, for example, from your dad, even though it wasn't drumming, it was the music that was passed on to you, and then you had kind of a feeling for the music. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, whether I was playing, I guess from when he was in the womb, we were always listening to music.
Yeah.
So music was probably always going on, you know what I mean? So, I mean, and they're very musical. All our kids are quite musical. Whether it's like singing or like dancing and so forth, they enjoy music. So, I'm guessing somewhere down the line, whether it's hereditary or just passing information, definitely it's probably there.
Yeah.
See it goes.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Do you still play basketball? I remember you used to like basketball back in the day.
I used to enjoy it, and I think I like it for fitness. And then I realised I wasn't very good at it, so I think I let it go. When I was at Birmingham, I think we used to play weekly, and I actually kind of got into it. It was really quite cool. I've been in London for like 8 to 9 years now, and I haven't found anyone down here yet that I can work with. But I also realised that I said earlier about rat race and numbers.
Yep.
The level's a fair bit higher down here.
Yeah.
And I have to work harder to kind of get in there. Somebody's going to take it anymore.
Yeah, it's like life. It's like London's like a level above Birmingham, isn't it, in life? Like, so if you're going to go to London and do well, you've got to kind of move yourself up to the next level to compete, I guess.
Kind of that way, definitely. I think seen across different avenues of things, different kind of work ethics and so forth, and everyone seems to be a bit above. Again, it's good. It's a motivation. It pushes you. You want to be better, and if you want to be better, it's there for you, kind of thing. So, basketball is play tennis.
Yeah.
Play tennis now. I won back.
Tennis.
Playing sport now.
Okay.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Miss Caldecott at Dartmouth.
All those years ago
When she was saying,
If you dared to step on her tennis courts, she'll come and find you.
Come and find you in that tiny mini skirt, man. It was horrendous, wasn't it? Jesus.
Mate, I don't know what she was thinking. But yeah, that tiny mini, was it purple or something? Purple
Yeah,
pink
yeah.
or something she used to wear. Oh, yeah. Funny though, like if I knew then what I know now, I probably would have taken it up. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Really enjoy the sport.
Yeah.
I don't know if she might have put nothing actually to be fair, so yeah, I don't know.
How often do you play tennis? Do you go very often?
Yeah.
Well, when things were normal,
Yeah.
I found a tennis club and I was playing like probably 2-3 times a week.
Ah, cool.
So now I've just kind of had to find some outdoor places that I can play. So obviously outdoor is different because it's weather dependent. But I played yesterday and I've set up some for next week as well. So yeah, but I'm trying to get into it.
Keeping that cardio up.
Yeah.
Keeping the cardio up.
This is it, mate. Cardio. That's what it's about.
Like you say, we're getting a bit older now. It's the old ticker that we've got to keep going.
That's it.
You know, if you stop for a minute, like the recovery process now is so crazy. Before
Definitely.
you could drop or something or you injure something and like brush it off, good you go.
Definitely.
Now it's taking like a week plus, if not a month, to kind of heal and stuff. It's like, what is going on here? And it's weird 'cause sometimes I don't feel like the time's gone so fast. It's only talk to people, these certain things you reminisce,
Yeah.
but you forget that decades have gone by. You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
you feel.
Say again?
So you feel it.
Oh God, yeah. I've got my knee. I don't know if you remember when I hurt my knee in that was in school. I don't know if you remember. And so I still have trouble with my knee now, and it's painful. And yeah. So like you say, it's because we're getting old now. Before I could just play with it. It's fine.
You say that.
Yeah. Never
I
mind.
agree with you. I remember wearing knee braces and so forth at the time,
Yeah.
and not really knowing why. As you get older, and like, why is that hurting me? Oh yeah, I've actually always had an issue with that, but you can't brush it off now.
Yeah.
It's here to stay.
That's it. It is. And I remember my dad saying to me as well, "You want to stop playing football now because when you're older, it's gonna hit you, and you're just not gonna be able to get rid of it." And and I ignored him, and now look at me. Yeah.
Oh man, see, those are fathers and the wise words we never listened to.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah. But then there's nothing when you're that age. So we can tell our children, but they have to learn to listen. Do you know what I mean? Like at that time, that like our children aren't going to listen to us half the time, and as they're growing up, so
It's
naturally,
nature, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, like I said earlier, at the time, you look back now, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
At the time,
Yeah.
I
No.
don't hear that.
No.
yeah. Just so next question I wanted to ask you was like if you're looking back at some of your struggles, what would what would advice be for other musicians, other drummers coming up who want to kind of get ahead and be successful? What would your advice be?
I think when I was practicing hard, I should still do that. When people say any kind of craft so forth, learn the fundamentals. You know what I mean? Learn the language. Those words really are a thing. Fundamentals, I think, in any craft is a thing. And fundamentals are boring, aren't they? Sometimes they're like, oh, that's boring. I want to do the flashy thing. We play football, you know what I mean? They say fundamentals, learn the long game. No, I want to be like whoever, you know what I mean? Like, but that person you aspire to be, they knew the fundamentals.
Yeah.
And because they knew the fundamentals, they could then be the flashy star.
Yeah.
You can't just jump to the flashy star, it don't work out. It might work out for a bit, but long game, you ain't got it.
Yeah.
So so fundamentals are a huge thing. Being versatile is big. It's all good and well enjoying what you like. So if you like whatever style of music, it's well and good enjoying that for your enjoyment. But in terms of work ethic wise, you need to know a quite vast palette kind of thing. So just getting to learn different genres of music. I love going to like symphonies. I'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not a whatever player, but in terms of musicality, in terms of people working together in a large scale and so forth, and what they bring is amazing. And being able to tune my ear to that kind of thing now, I really enjoy that. I might not play a wood instrument or what's not, but I can definitely appreciate it. And because I can appreciate it now, my ear's tuned to then apply what I do. So I can then apply myself to that part of music now, and I can understand it.
Yeah.
Because it's a language in that sense, you know what I mean? So yeah, fundamentals, versatility, and just kind of trying to, and I guess enjoying the process.
Yeah.
Which is hard for anybody. I mean, you always say like you can't run before you can walk, which is funny because generally a baby does start to run before they walk. They go from crawling straight to running, and they have to slow down. But you do have to go through the process, and it might be boring or so forth, but it helps in a longevity wise, because then I think sometimes you fall back on certain things or things that work out, and it's good to know the journey. If you don't know how you got there, sometimes you can't fix it.
Yeah.
You gotta you have to go back to the very beginning, which is okay sometimes. But if you can look back in your journey and be like, okay, that worked there, that don't work there, blah blah blah, and understand the process, I think that helps. But yeah, that's kind of what it's me. And like I said before, timekeeping, being punctual, looking the part, attitude, commitment to learning. So if they needed to, just don't be narrow-minded. Try to be open-minded and everything. It might not fit your particular stance on certain things. And sometimes you got to hold it on. Sometimes you got to be like, this is me. But other times you need to be able to be open-minded and willing to learn new things and so forth. I think that's, again, a life lesson, I guess, as well, really.
Yeah, things happen for a reason, don't they? Things like you say, being open-minded is things come into your life, and you might not understand why it's there at that time, but it's there for a reason, and it's gonna help you some way get to where you want to be. So, but if you're pushing those things aside, it might be an opportunity. It might be somebody who's observing you that you push away, who might have influence somewhere else. And so, like you say, it's a case of kind of keeping yourself open to all opportunities, all possibilities. Treat everybody well. That's the name of the game, I guess.
Yeah, man, you never know sometimes what doors are opening or what doors are closing, because you're unaware. And like you said, that person is watching you from afar. You could have a potential client who's interested in whatever, and they're coming to your show or coming to your place of work, observing you for ages, and you have no idea. And that one day, I mean, we're all human, but they might observe something in you and be like, nah, he's great at this, but he can't do that very well, or vice versa. So yeah, definitely be open-minded and appreciating just the whole picture.
Yeah.
Which takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time. It's not easy to do that.
Yeah.
You got to kind of you build that craft up. Very, very different, I think. Because we all go to learn a particular thing, but then once you learn a thing, don't stop there. Broaden it, and as far as you can, try and learn the whole scope of it. So yeah.
Definitely. You mentioned going seeing symphonies and things like that. What other sorts of music and songs and kind of do you enjoy listening to? What's your area that you like to listen to, or different areas, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know how I go to. I find it weird because sometimes because I'm always learning stuff, I hadn't found a actual part of music that I enjoy listening to. Because I always learn. So it's like, oh, I want to listen to something. What do I actually want to enjoy right now? I don't know. So sometimes I fall back on like 90s music, because that's what I used to enjoy back then.
Yeah.
So sometimes finding new music for me is actually quite difficult.
Yeah.
And then I'm still a boy racer, so I've got like 18-inch subwoofer in my car. I don't know why I still got it. It's terrible. It should be for shopping, but it's not. It's for
You have to put the bags on the back seat now.
So anything with bass in it, I'm going to play it. It's
Okay.
really bad. I'll try and like a few artists that like I like hip hop a lot still, and I'll say this person because I enjoyed his approach, like Kendrick Lamar. I enjoyed his was lyrically and so forth. But I enjoyed that his stuff was quite musical, and I think a lot of music at the moment is cool, but it's kind of robotic chords, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not mocking anybody. It's just me. I like amongst drumming. I like music. I like to be able to listen to a celloist or blah blah and just enjoy what they're doing. So no, long-winded answer that question, but I haven't got any favourites. I don't know why. It's really bad.
So it's not.
I mean, sometimes.
Sorry, go on. Yep.
God.
I was going to say, so it's not like based around drumming your musical taste. It doesn't really have an influence on your actual taste of what you listen to, the drumming.
Sometimes drumming's the last thing I'm listening to. Really, I'm listening to everything else.
Yeah.
And so I think I'm listening to everything else rather. But sometimes I was drumming for a specific reason because they've done something. That sounds cool. But often it's not the drumming at all. It's more like kind of like lyrical content. Or I think music's very the language of music is really really quite. Transcend a lot of different boundaries. You can, in terms of emotionally, music is a huge thing, and it can make you feel whatever way. So within that could take my palette wherever. I sometimes get in the car in the morning and something will come on and be like, no, that is not for you right now. I can't listen to you. I need either need quiet or I need something a lot more calmer. And it just depends on my mood at the time. Which I guess is generic.
No,
I don't have a go.
No.
Not all. And what do you do? What do you like to do? You said about tennis. What other things do you like to do to relax? Have you got anything that? So if you are working at the time and you've been kind of putting in the hours and everything else, how do you just kind of chill out and relax a little bit?
I'm still learning that. I'm married with 4 kids. What's relax?
True.
What is that?
Very true.
I think I've used. So fitness has been a big thing. So gym, tennis is a big thing for me. I brought a Nintendo Switch. Barely used it. But I need to use that. Yeah, but like computer games and so forth. I used to love that. I've got it all. I can't get into it. I don't know why. What I did the other day, I bought a backward compatible PS3 the other day.
Wow.
Just so I could play some PS2 games. That's how bad I am sometimes. There's some amazing PS4 games. I want to play a PS2 game. Often I would have found.
Just something.
But that's what, like I said before about the music. Sometimes I go back to 90s stuff.
Yeah.
And I swear back to something I can remember that was enjoyable. I did that. But I think I've made tennis, and that kind of thing one of my biggest things. And sometimes just like enjoying the family. So I cultivate time now. So when I'm on the road, they know I'm working. It's cool. They might see me for a few days or a week or so. So when I'm at home, I just try and spend time with them. Sure they're cool. Try and set up their story really. I'm doing what I'm doing when I'm good. Let's try and make sure they're in a good place to excel and set them up with it. So I try and get that balance right.
Yeah.
Cool. Very good. Okay, so and at home, are you? I don't know because I don't exactly know where you live or how long you've lived there and that sort of thing. But what, like, one of the things that I'd written down for a question was, what for you and your family, what makes your house a home? What small things, what details make a house a home for you?
Okay. My missus is very meticulous in how she conducts certain things on the house. That's a fall in line.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of things in the house is just laughter's been a big thing. I think definitely been a huge thing. Again, some things you look back on and you don't understand when you're growing up, and now you're older and you see things and how they pay out, and you're like, okay, cool, I understand that now. I understand the need for that. it's hard sometimes. If you go out and you're at work all day, and you come home and you, in your mind, all you want to do is X, Y, Z, but then your family's been waiting for you to come home.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you for ages, blah blah. They want this from you. I think I remember seeing I think it's a cartoon. I love cartoons. I remember seeing a cartoon, and the dad came home from work. He was tired, could fall over tired. And as soon as his child came in the room, release some energy and give the appearance for the child that everything was okay, blah. And that's what values to me. And that's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that, as well as a father, that when you're working and things like that, and then you come home, it is tough to do, and you've got to just constantly remind yourself. But it's tough, man. Having children changes everything, doesn't it?
Everything. You know what I mean? Definitely. And I'm saying, I've seen different walks of life and so forth, with different people's approach to it. Like I said, when I used to teach and do mentoring and whatnot, I do like site visits and so forth and see how things were, good and bad, and those were some telling times as well. But yeah, I think it's no shame in admitting when things are difficult. I think there's no shame in admitting if you need help for certain things, and just trying to learn to do better. Because if sometimes with your best intentions, you just don't know sometimes.
Yeah.
And you need a scenario or a situation to happen to bring whatever to light or to help you understand something. So yeah, man. So I think trying to cultivate that in the house, to make sure everyone's happy, is huge. And getting the right balance. Even this time right now, trying to maintain education and so forth, but make sure the kids are still mentally healthy. Making sure they're still happy and so forth. Getting that balance has been, to be fair, hasn't been challenging. It's been quite cool. But I can appreciate the challenge of it. But yeah, just try and do my best to be selfless within that, and making sure without putting yourself out, because you are still important. You still gotta look after yourself as well. So whether I use my tennis time or whatever to go and do me, fine. When I'm in the house, try and be present and try and give time to kids or missus or what's that I need to do. And again, not easy. We're human. Each day is different. Each day is very different. But you do your best. Try and make it stick.
Yeah, it's a really good message. Being selfless or trying to be conscious of being selfless all the time is something I think, like, that's a really good message for people, because it's like you say, it's easy for you to get lost in your work or in what you're doing and forget about that actually you're there for your family. That's your main role. This is the reason you're doing everything else, is for your family. So yeah. And sometimes it's like you say, if you're tired or whatever, it's a conscious effort. But that's so be it. That's what it is. What it is, and you've got to put in that effort, really. No.
Definitely, it's what it is. That is life now. Again, we're growing up. Only two responsibilities. It is what it is now. But so it's all good.
Slightly different question, going in a different direction. This is something I got offline. What's the best country in the world, and why, in your eyes? So it's more of a philosophical question. It could be something about like somewhere you visited that's cool and you enjoy it and you like it, or it could be like more, as I say, more philosophical. There might be a reason behind why you think that country's the best one in the world.
Okay. I don't know. Like, America would always like to be, you'd like to put it high on the map. Although America could be very low. In some cases. Won't go into that right now. I love the Caribbean. My mum's from Barbados, and I've been there a few times. I love the Caribbean for that. But then the pace of life is too slow. I get bored. It's amazing, but it's slow. So that's like retirement. Go and chill. I think. I don't know.
See, I like. So, say again.
Go on.
I was going to say so like my example, so that like maybe give you an idea, is like, because I don't know if I told you, I lived in Colombia for some years, South America. And so I lived on the Caribbean coast there, and for me, it's just the wildest place, the most beautiful place, the friendliest people. I don't know, but I like the pace of life. So I like the fact it's all a bit slower. To me, that's a bit more. It's a bit more human. It's a bit less kind of like you say, everybody fighting each other to get ahead and everything else. So I like it. I like that where you can like take a little bit of extra time to speak to somebody and have a conversation, that sort of thing. So yeah, so for me, like that's Colombia's like the best country that I mean I'd love to go back and live there again. It's amazing, man.
Say again?
I ain't been South America and things. I would love to get there. That's like a bucket list thing.
Yeah.
Like there's Brazil's and so forth. Now I'd love to kind of get to them places. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed Australia. I went out there. And I enjoyed Asia. So China was weird. China was cool. But weird. Hong Kong I enjoyed. I really enjoyed Hong Kong. I want to go there again.
Why was China weird? What made China weird? Like just a completely different culture, or
different culture entirely. I could appreciate it. Great, it was amazing. I think in terms of culturally, it's a bit too. Yeah, Hong Kong's a bit more westernized.
Yeah,
it's kind of best of both worlds kind of thing. And China I could appreciate, but I think in terms of like being there for a long period of time, that'd be a bit much. I mean, it's great, be great. I have to go and learn Mandarin and what's not and blah blah. And I guess I could do that. It wasn't for me. I think as well. I think culturally, it was. It's funny. I've been there sometimes. I have some like because obviously you got your more westernized people, and you got your people like literally don't go out there, just see their backyard. So I go certain places because music takes me to some interesting places that I wouldn't go no. Even in England, I've been some villages in England that I wouldn't go to normally, and you can see they only see other minorities on the TV.
Yeah.
When they see you in person, they're like, "Oh, you're real. You actually blah blah," and that could be interesting because they could have a stereotype from whatever media stream or whatever TV source was not, and it's interesting. So, literally, like say China, I could have been Godzilla.
Really?
It was really funny, and I could appreciate it. So it's funny to me.
Yeah.
I didn't get upset about it. I travel quite a lot, so when things happen, it's whatever it is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like a racist thing or a prejudice thing. It's just life. Some people, that is what they say, and they don't know. Likewise, I've been to some villages in England, and if they're in a small village, wherever, or they don't see a lot of different cultures or lifestyles, so forth, they're not used to it. So I can go around the corner and be like, "Oh, right. Hi, how are you? You okay?" And be really bright and bubbly just to make sure they know we're okay, you're fine, it's cool. Yeah.
I think in that way we kind of, that's one privilege that we've had of growing up in Birmingham. I think being in that and now you in London, being in that kind of multicultural society. I thank God that I grew up in that kind of environment. It's good.
No.
Yeah, man, it's a huge thing, definitely. Yeah. I think because you grew up in it, it's just it's natural to us. It's second nature. It's only when you go out of it you realise, oh, that's not everyone's story. Everyone hasn't got the same kind of outlook and stuff. I completely went off your topic of question, but I think I might still put Hong Kong in there.
Yeah.
I just realised the question you asked me now. My topic, my bad. Sorry.
No,
I do
it's
that
cool.
sometimes. Yeah, I'm gonna put a pin in Hong Kong for now and leave it there.
Yeah.
You probably change my conversation. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right. How do you feel? I'm going back to music a bit now, but how do you feel that music has changed over the years? Say from when we were younger to now. How do you think the whole thing's changed now? Because it has, I think.
there is still some great music out there. Some great people collaborating and doing some great work. I think in terms of pop culture, I don't particularly enjoy it because for me, it's kind of been watered down a lot. Some of our great influences of who we knew yesteryear, they either had to really learn their craft or whatever else they've known. Yeah, learn their craft and learn blah blah so forth because it was very organic. Now you can afford to know a bit of it and let technology do the rest. It's just not as organic, I guess.
You don't even need to know a little bit. I don't think it's sometimes a lot of the artists come out and they don't even need to be a good singer, or they don't even need because they've got tech now that can just create that for them, that illusion almost.
Yeah, it's
there you go. That in itself, that's what it is. So that has taken away some of the enjoyment of certain things. Again, I'm very fortunate I haven't had to work for anyone like that because I'm not sure. I guess often when we play something live, because of your natural energy, because of your skill set, we can create a nice organic sound and make it feel more humanized. I see it's always well and good, but some stuff is just like, I just don't like this. But not. And that's not a genre thing. Like, I would never say I wouldn't put rock and roll and stuff in my car, but like, I'm going to go listen to you right now, particularly. However, I can appreciate it. I appreciate the skill set and what's not. And like I said, symphonies and what's not. So it's not a genre thing.
No.
It's just, like you say, some people haven't taken the time to learn the craft now, and sometimes it kind of comes across in music. It's not actually that good. It's just mediocre. Yet it's top 10, no number 1 in the Billboard charts. It's like, really? That's what's going nowadays. Okay. It's like, when you got things like your X Factors and your blah blah, which again you can't mark them because for some people that is a viable.
Yeah.
You get somewhere to go. But it's given a lot of people this kind of false sense of whatever. I've been on TV for a minute. I'm famous now. Really?
Yeah.
You do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think in performing arts, I think a lot of people are battling that. That's the thing, actually. I think there's a music, theatre, film, whatever, blah blah. I think a lot of people are struggling in that sense because those who have taken the time to learn their craft time and get to where they need to are now being kind of overlooked by your one-hit wonders. Just people who got through a machine, beat one of these programs or whatever, and now because it's in the public eye, because of social media, they're now seen as whatever. Like, hold on, they didn't learn all the things they need to get to this place. They didn't go for the years of training. They just pressed the button, and now here they are.
Yeah. But do you think
society?
Yeah, it is. Do you think it's? Do you think it's the other side of the coin? Though, is that now with kind of the internet, YouTube, or your Spotify, all that sort of thing. Do you think it's easier for somebody actually who's not just who's a great musician, I don't know, great singer, whatever, to if they know a little bit of like internet advertising and marketing, and do you think it's easy? It's obviously easier now for those people that who may be a genuine artist to build up an audience without having to go through the big companies. That's kind of the other side of the coin now, isn't it, as well?
Definitely, 100%. I think I enjoy. I'm not granted. Like the social media and everything's like amazing tool. I think it's a huge bonus tool. It's great. So, like you're saying, those people only are still doing things the organic way and learn the what's not. You might not get a record deal because you're not ticking the boxes they want, or you're still true to yourself, and you can get a fan base for yourself. You can tell us up, and then you get your own followers, and you can go through that organic route and still pursue your dream. And the media has allowed that now for a lot of people. I mean, Ed Sheeran's probably one of the biggest ones at the moment. He was playing in small pubs, clubs, the street for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people didn't know what much about it, but he's built that repertoire over time and so forth, and now got to where he's got to. And there's others who become internet stars via whatever, and for good reason. So I'm not particularly completely mocking it at all. I think it's an amazing tool for a lot of people, and the access you can get is cool as well, because some people will never get access to the likes of the big corporations and so forth. They won't get that. It'd be so much, whether it's a monetary thing or it's just an access thing, they won't get that. But now, I can talk to you from around the world from my living room, and build a rapport, get a fan base and so forth, and build slowly.
Yeah.
So, it is huge. Like I said, every side of the coin is that it does present, or just create a lot of opportunity for a lot of people, and used in the right way, you can do some great stuff. So, really cool.
I was just thinking you can put the graft in, like you say, with somebody like Ed Sheeran or whatever. If you are a genuine musician, you can put that graft in online and things like that, rather than go into the X Factor route where you go and do a competition, and you can actually just put the graft in and say, okay, I'm going to get to the top myself, rather than waiting for somebody else to like notice me or whatever.
Definitely,
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Right, so I think we've come to the end of the line, mate. It was it was really good to talk with you, man. It's been too long. As soon as we're kind of out of lockdown and everything, I'll come down to London, and cause the idea with my podcast is that I'll be actually kind of doing face-to-face episodes, but just doing remote at the moment. So is there anywhere that people can kind of go and see more of you, or is there anywhere that you'd like to? Do you like to have people come and engage with you or anything else, or follow you, or not?
Yeah, I mean, as we have done, kind of thing. Once you every now and again, we'll send messages via whatever social media stream and so forth. I'm always up for that. I'm terrible. When you talk about social media, I'm terrible at it. I'm really bad. I'm cool at like messages and so forth and get back in touch with people. What's that? But like putting out content and so forth, I'm the worst.
I think it's a generational thing, mate, because I'm the same. Like I'm learning this at the moment because it's not natural for me to put stuff out. So I'm learning it all, man. It's strange for us, no? It's strange to keep putting stuff.
It's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole. Unless you're motivated or geared towards that, it's just like what? But I'm gonna try to work on that. It says people like access to see what I do and so forth.
Yeah.
I do click stuff over at Instagram pages and what's that, pages and what's not. Yeah, man. We're hearing it while we're alive. Just
yeah, definitely.
So no, look out for Julian. He'll very, 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 very good drummer. He'll kind of be out there, out and about, working for other people very, very soon, I'm sure. So thanks very much for coming on,
man. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure, man.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
You do.
Say again?
You do, man, as well. You're cool. Great.
Thanks, man. No, I appreciate that. Appreciate it. So, no, until next time, guys, that's Drinks with Chris, and take it easy.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Cheers.